Developing news this morning, a committee of lawmakers looking at impeaching Secretary of State Diana Duran will meet in a week and a half on October 27th. The committee will recommend to the House whether the charges against Duran are serious enough to impeach her. She's accused of misusing campaign donations and filing false campaign finance reports with her own office. Bernalillo County Sheriff's deputies are investigating a suspicious death in the North Valley. Deputies got a call from someone at a house on Los Ranchos Road last night. That's where investigators found a body. They say they're treating it as a murder, but don't have a lot to go on right now.
It's hard to determine exactly what took place and what happened. It's preliminary in the investigation, and our investigators are out here investigating.
Those investigators were still on scene late into the night, questioning relatives and neighbors. They have not released the victim's identity. New details this morning about the man who police say held a woman hostage for hours during a SWAT situation. That man is behind bars this morning. Police say they were called out to a home near Central in Wyoming early yesterday morning when a woman said she was being held against her will. Police say Richard Archuleta threatened that he would shoot the woman and officers if they tried to get inside. Records show Archuleta has faced previous domestic violence charges. The family of a Manzano High School student killed in a drive-by shooting is being remembered this weekend. 17-year-old Jaden Chavez Silver was gunned down while hanging out with his friends in June. His family wanted to get together before his birthday that's coming up on Tuesday.
They just truly came out to show how much they love him and miss him just like we do, and it's just overwhelming. It's beautiful.
Jaden was a football player and a wrestler about to start his senior year at Manzano. His family says he was considering joining the Air Force. Police say he was not the intended target of the shooting. 3 people were arrested in connection with his murder. We're seeing new dramatic video this morning that shows what 3 people went through when they were stuck in rushing floodwaters in California. CNN's Mimi Alcala has the story behind that video and the people who came so close to death.
Ray Eklund says she was on her way home from Mojave to Tehachapi with 2 coworkers when the rain started pouring.
Oh my God! We were coming up on Cameron and we were like in a low spot and it just kept raining and raining and then the mud just started coming towards us.
And soon enough, the car she was a passenger in lifted off of the ground.
Oh my God, this car's gonna hit us. Oh my God!
Oh, we're floating! We're floating! And then we just started floating and banging into cars.
Eklund says the worst thoughts were running through her mind as she continued to record.
We're in trouble now.
We're gonna hit! We're gonna hit!
Unsure of what was going to happen next as cars turned into boats.
Oh my God! If we stay here, we're never getting out! Yeah, we were bouncing off other cars, and I was not sure whether we were going to make it out of there. It looked like there was cars going to float over the wall. It was really horrifying.
He's going to go over the edge.
Once the rain finally came to a stop,
We might get out of this mess.
Eklund and the 2 women in the car with her crawled through the windows.
I think we're safer in the car. And then we walked out of there. It took us hours to walk out of there. It was awful. Walking out of there was really bad because, like we were in mud up to our knees.
They finally made it to safety. As for the car,
we ended up on the back of a semi. The car looks like it's ready to be hauled away. There were hundreds of cars. And then once we got through the mud and started walking up the highway, once we got to high ground and we were out of the mud, that's when we encountered all the other cars that were just sitting there on the freeway.
Eklund says she's experienced some crazy weather living in Kern County for about 38 years.
Back in '84, there were some rains when we lived in San Canyon, and that was pretty horrendous. I mean, there was floods. We were trapped in the canyon for like a week.
But this was the first time that left her fearing for her life.
I don't feel quite normal. I'm a little shaky. Yes, I'm just glad to be here.
Eklund says she's also glad no one was seriously hurt and that people were helping each other as they walked for hours down the highway. She says people offered each other blankets, clothes, and shoes. Cleanup is underway at a liquor store in Massachusetts where a car smashed through the front of the building. 2 days ago, two cars collided and the impact sent one of them through the storefront window. It set off the alarm system that woke up the store's owner. He was able to check out what happened on surveillance cameras using his smartphone. He says he couldn't believe his eyes.
I see a car in my store, so I got up and I got down here, and I mean, it was just an ungodly mess.
Police say it looks like one of the cars ran a red light, causing the crash. But since it's not clear which one, police didn't arrest anyone. The store was closed at the time of the crash. No one was hurt, and police say it does not appear alcohol was a factor. Developing news this morning, police are looking for the driver and passengers in a car that hit 3 people in southeast Albuquerque. It happened just before 2 this morning at the intersection of San Mateo and Zuni. Police say the driver and possible passengers got out of the car and ran after the crash. It's unclear if they were hurt in the crash. All 3 people who were walking when the car hit them were seriously hurt. They're all listed in critical condition. Police have not yet released their names. We'll continue to follow this story and bring you updates as they become available. A pedestrian is recovering this morning and a driver is still on the loose after another hit and run. It happened in an intersection near Central and Tramway around 8 yesterday morning. APD says the victim was crossing Central at Dorado Place. A witness says the suspect hit the person and drove off. The victim was hurt badly and had to be taken to the hospital in critical condition. Witness attempts to track down the suspect were not successful.
It was followed by a witness, and the witness lost it. So we do need help locating that vehicle. If anybody sees a 2006 gold Chevy Impala in the neighborhood with any type of front-end damage, please give us a call immediately.
APD had the intersection where that person was hit shut down for a few hours this morning while they investigated. If you have any information, you're asked to call police. Now, police are looking for a 2006 gold Chevy Impala like this one. It should have some pretty significant front-end damage. Neighbors are still cleaning up after a driver made a big mess at the Silverado apartments near Osuna and San Mateo. Witnesses tell us a truck hit several parked cars before smashing into a wall near the apartment complex late Friday night. No one was hurt. Police say they don't know who the driver is yet. Dozens of Albuquerque motorcycle riders revved up their engines for a good cause this weekend. It was called Pink Your Ride. 2 sisters in Pennsylvania started the ride to honor their sister who lost her battle with breast cancer. They invited other Harley owner groups around the country to join in by riding on the same day. They say this year's ride included around 60 riders. Authorities in Maryland say a woman plotted with 2 teens to kill her husband and another woman who lived in their home. Officers say they were called out to the woman's home nearly 2 weeks ago. She claimed her husband had shot and killed himself, but police say the weapon they found at the scene was not the murder weapon.
She was instrumental, based on the investigation, in setting the .45 near the defendant's head, or near the victim's head. And that .45 did not match with the .380 round that we later determined had killed the victim.
A 25-year-old woman who had moved into the couple's basement during the summer was also dead. Investigators say the suspect thought the victim was having an affair with her husband behind her back. They busted her this week when she was caught sending incriminating messages to the teens. Hawaii's governor has declared a state of emergency to deal with the state's homelessness crisis. This comes a day after officials cleared one of the nation's largest homeless camps. Hawaii has the highest rate of homelessness per capita of any state in the nation, with just over 7,000 people on the streets. The governor says the declaration will help the state speed up the process of building a homeless shelter for families. Chris Mintz, the veteran who was shot 5 times during the horrific campus attack in Oregon earlier this month, is now giving his firsthand account of what happened. CBS's Meg Oliver has more.
In a powerful Facebook post, Chris Mintz reveals how he helped protect a campus under siege, all while having one thing on his mind: his son.
Copy, active shooter, UCC 1140 Umpqua College Road.
After being shot 5 times, Mintz told a classmate, "It's my son's birthday. Please call my son's mom and tell her I can't pick him up from school today."
UCC, this is going to be the Snyder Hall.
Mintz was in the adjoining classroom when the shooter, Christopher Harper Mercer, started spraying bullets. He writes, "There were gunshots. I held the door open and waited for everyone to leave safely. Safely out of harm's way, Mintz refused to run for cover. After warning people across campus, he returned to the shooting.
Somebody is outside one of the doors, shooting through the door."
On his way, he passed another student hiding. Mintz remembers his warning, "Don't, man, he's going to shoot you, man." Mintz wrote he moved on anyway. With his back pressed against the wall, he waited quietly outside the bloody classroom. He wrote, "All of a sudden, the shooter opened the classroom door and started shooting as I turned toward him. He was so nonchalant, like he was playing a video game, and showed no emotion." He says Mercer told him, "That's what you get for calling the cops." Mintz told him, "I didn't call the cops, man. They were already on the way."
Dispatch as many ambulances as possible to this incident. We have upwards of 20 victims.
Mintz was shot in his legs, stomach, shoulder, and finger. As he laid on the ground in a fetal position, the shooter tried to shoot his phone. Mintz yelled, "It's my kid's birthday, man." He pointed the gun right at my face and he retreated back into the class. Mintz says he's still confused why he wasn't shot again. He described the unimaginable pain. "My legs felt like ice. When I moved, pain shot through me like a bomb going off."
Exchanging shots with him.
As first responders arrived, Mintz saw his friend, an EMT. Mintz says that's when he knew we were all going to be okay.
Mintz apologized in his post to anyone affected by the massacre and hurt by his statement. He also thanked the first responders and medical teams. He said they are the real heroes. They saved us.
A Central Florida man is recovering after a close call with an alligator earlier in the week. Doug Brown considers himself lucky to be alive after an 8-foot alligator took a bite out of his hand. It happened Wednesday afternoon on what was just like any other day. Brown was repairing water pipes behind his mother's home when he came face to face with the gator. Before Brown could react, he heard a snap and saw the reptile's teeth coming down on his hand.
It was big enough, it was 8 foot, it could have pulled me in the water and just put me in death row and I'd be down there somewhere till the divers got me.
The Wildlife Center believes someone living in the community was feeding the alligator, which would explain why it was so aggressive. Joaquin Guzman, the drug kingpin, better known as El Chapo, was injured while escaping authorities again. That's according to officials who say they launched an operation to recapture Guzman based on intelligence they received. He got away, but not before sustaining injuries to his face and one leg. Guzman broke out of prison in July and has been on the run ever since. The U.S. is offering a reward of up to $5 million for information leading to his arrest. Mexico is offering $3.8 million. The TSA says it will stop using the word anomaly when describing transgender passengers. The change comes after a transgender woman complained online about her experience last month at an Orlando airport. She says airport security held her for 40 minutes because of a, quote, anomaly detected when she walked through the full body scanner. The agency has agreed to stop using the term and has removed the word from its website. Problems with exploding airbag inflators continue to spread to more vehicles. This time it affects some of this year's GM cars and SUVs. Documents posted by U.S. safety regulators say GM is recalling more than 400 vehicles because the side airbag inflators could rupture and hit passengers with shrapnel. 8 people have been killed worldwide because of the faulty inflators, and more than 100 have been hurt. You can find the models affected by the latest recall on our KRQE app. National reports say gas prices are headed up, but we found gas under $2 a gallon in the metro. According to GasBuddy.com, the average price of gas in New Mexico is $2.19 a gallon. That's down from last month's average of $2.43. It's $2.16 in the metro. To find the lowest prices in your area, you can check out our KRQE app.